Hi, I'm Brent Haseker, website consultant with NetSource Technologies, and I'm here again today with Justin Cook, our SEO expert. And today we're going to talk about micro moments. Pretty big topic. I know there's a lot of information that we can share on this, and I've got a lot of notes on this. And just so you know too, where a lot of the information that I'm pulling from and a lot of the questions that I'm pulling from to ask Justin are coming from a Google document that they put out. It's like a 30-page document, and it's called Micro Moments, Your Guide to Winning the Shift to Mobile. It's a document produced by Google. So if you put in Micro Moments, Your Guide to Winning the Shift to Mobile in the Google search engine, this will pull up as the first result, and you'll know what we're talking about here. If you want to get that document yourself, it's very useful. But again, it's like 30 pages. So we're going to kind of pull out the best information from that. And then also the best information out of Justin's head, put it all together, mix it up, and hopefully have some good information here for you today. All right, great. Hey, thanks for joining me again here, Justin. And go ahead and tell everybody just exactly what are micro moments.
So micro moments are the critical touch points that a user has with a business. So these are small educational moments for the customer during their buying cycle. So they start in the awareness stage, they go through the research, then they start their buying cycle, and then the ultimate decision. So there are small moments within each day or even over a couple of weeks where a user will interact with a specific business. It can start with a informational intent where they look for where is Florida, for say, on a map, to where's the best destination in Florida, and then looking for a hotel, looking for flights down to Florida,
right,
et cetera, et cetera. So these are small moments where users are looking for supplemental information to help them make the best buying decision.
Right. And now are micro moments just about that buying decision, or do they apply to all aspects of what we know as the sales funnel, where you've got the top is the research and just the awareness stage. We get down to the bottom as you go through the sales funnel to the actual buying process. Does it just apply to that bottom part of the funnel, or is it?
No. So when we're looking at the sales funnel in micro moments, you can basically add several different layers within each different buying cycle. Okay. So that can start with when we're in the awareness stage, somebody not even knowing that they need something, they're still interacting with a business through their mobile device. So let's say they're on Facebook and they see an ad. They have no idea that they want to go to Florida and they want to go to the beach and maybe hang out with a couple of friends there. But as they go through that process and they see that Facebook ad, we can call that as a micro moment because they've interacted with some type of information that will get them started in the buying cycle.
Okay. So basically, it's in any stage of the sales funnel, really, these micro moments can apply and help out in getting to that bottom of the funnel and getting to the buying process.
With micro moments, we're not focused on the end result. We're focused on helping the customer and building that relationship. So if they see you, the business, as the main point for their research and their decision process, then you are highly likely to get that purchase at that point.
Right. And, some of the information that this document that Google put out shares, they talk about micro moments being snackable educational content. So it's information that's helpful in all of those different phases of the funnel, so that you've always got something to share with people that they'll say, hey, this is really cool information, and then helps to lead to the next bit of snackable educational content. Because a stat I saw, and I don't know if I have it right here in front of me, but it was really interesting, is that such a high percentage of people who actually are not loyal to any particular brand. Usually mobile users, they're going to go with whoever can give them the information they're looking for at that particular point in time. So customer loyalty is actually kind of at a low. So if you can feed them that information when they're looking for it on their mobile device, then you've got a much better chance of getting to that bottom of that sales funnel and snagging that customer.
Exactly.
Okay. So so we know that it applies anywhere to the sales funnel. Give us some examples. I know you gave us a few there, but give us some other examples of maybe how a company could use these micro moments, like a retail business. Is there something that, I sell shoes or something like that. How would I utilize micro moments in my overall advertising?
So with shoes, if we're going to take that as an example, I have an online business and we sell exclusively shoes. So what we would do there is people are going to search for shoes that are in style, trending shoes, maybe specific types of shoes, so like platform heels or sneakers or the most comfortable running shoes. So where we want to use there with the micro moments is when they are searching for what we call these I want tos. So I want to know, I want to go, I want to buy, and I want to do. So there are different moments that each business can capitalize on. So for example, I want to know if we're looking for what are the most comfortable sneakers for running. Do I need wide or slim fit sneakers? What are the best soles for running? So those are types of I want to know moments that they're only looking for information. They're not really that far down the cycle yet. They just want to know what the best thing is.
So they're just researching. Again, they're at that top of that sales funnel. So they're just looking for information, and just that research could then help them to stumble upon your products that you sell.
Yeah, exactly.
And since they're on mobile device, because I more stats here and here that indicate, and this is Google's research, that such a high percentage of people, I think it's 90%, roughly 90%, are pulling out their cell phone at any given time when they think of something, because they just go, oh yeah, I was gonna, I want to know more about shoes. They're standing at line, at the post office or whatever, and they pull out their phone and why they're thinking of that particular thing, and that's the device they're using to do so much of their research. So then, what sole is the best sole for running? Like you said, they're in the post office and they go, oh hey, check out, that's a pretty cool looking shoe, and then they might remember that. Then maybe when they get home to do a search on that particular shoe or pull it up on their phone and say, what was the name of that? Oh yeah, okay. And then they might do some more research on their laptop, correct?
Exactly.
Right, because most people are utilizing multiple platforms now in order to make a purchase decision. And it's not just, hey, I go online, I see what I like, I buy it, I'm done. They're going through various steps on various platforms.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So we know that then obviously micro moments are very important for a business because obviously everyone's using a mobile device now. Is there, tell me a little bit about we know that you've got to serve things quickly on the mobile in order to get people to pay attention to what you're doing on mobile. A case study that that Google had mentioned was Walmart had their website in 2014 took approximately, I think it was like 7.6 seconds in order to load on mobile. And they realized, hey, that's too long. So the next year they got it down to about 2.5 seconds, and they saw a major boost in their conversions. And it roughly came out to about 2% improvement in conversions per second that they saved. And so total was about 4 seconds that they saved in load time. So that's like 8% conversion. So obviously speed is also very important. Tell me a little bit about speed and how it plays into micro moments.
So when we're talking, we discussed a little bit last time about A&P and why speed is so important, because people don't want to wait around. We're not talking about somebody that's on a great Wi-Fi connection and they're able to load it on their phone with no problem. We're talking about somebody that's on a 4G, 3G network that he's just walking around and he's looking up some, maybe for a restaurant near him. They want to know at that exact moment with as much speed as possible. So having a landing page for those types of things where they're looking for shoes or they're buying or they're looking for information on shoes, you want to have that page load as quickly as possible. So in the example on Walmart, I remember reading this case study that their online department really focused on making sure that every process made the speed better. So when we're talking about every second saved is about a 2%, that's exactly what happens. And an 8% for Walmart is
It's a lot
massive.
of money.
It's a lot
It's
of money.
A lot of money.
So you can only imagine what the translation could be
Right.
for other businesses
Right.
when we start picking up the speed. So when they get to your website, if it loads quickly, it loads fast, they're more likely to stay on that page and read what you have.
Right.
You have about 1 to 2 minutes to capture the user. After that, they're gone and they're looking for something else.
Mm-hmm.
If they get to the page and they don't like the headline or it didn't match exactly what their user intent, what the intent was when they were searching, they're gone. So you really have to be very good, very focused, and to capture those users and keep them on your page.
So basically, you have to anticipate their needs a lot when they're coming to mobile. So what would be some ways that you could do that? We could use the shoe example again if we want, or if there's another example that would work well. How do you anticipate a customer's needs and do that on a mobile device and play into that whole micro moments aspect?
So sometimes it's not even something that you can inherently do yourself. So if we go back to the Florida example, where we're looking for a hotel at this point. So we already know we want to go to Florida. We already know the location. Now they're going to search on Google what the best hotels are for.
Right.
So you want to anticipate that they're going to be on some of these bigger hotel sites. So hotel.com, Trivago, even Kayak. All these places have a lot of great information for hotels. You want to be on there because that's where they're probably going to go.
Right.
You're not going to show up and beat out these these guys that have a ton of budget and they're going to be on paying for it. You're not going to beat them out, so you have to be there. You have to anticipate different types of searches that they might do. So if you want to capitalize on somebody that's looking for great destination spots in Florida, that's a great blog. That is a great blog to use. And you can highlight some of the best cities and then why they should come to your city and your hotel, for example.
And yeah, Red Roof Inn actually did something pretty clever with utilizing micro moments, where they realized that there was a pretty large percentage of people that were getting stuck at airports.
Yeah.
You know, they're missing their flights or the flights got canceled. And as a result, they had to have a layover, they had to stay a night or two or whatever. So they're realizing, hey, why don't we do something to try and, you know, because they need a place to stay. We've got hotels in the area. So that I don't know exactly how I think they probably ran some ads around those airports, some things like that, where they were targeting people around those airports, serving them ads saying, hey, stranded, come stay with us. And they had a pretty big boost in conversions from that, and got a lot of business from doing that by serving a need that people had at that time.
And I think that's a very good point to touch on, is that you have to know your customer needs and what are some stress points along their buying cycle.
Right.
Even for something such as a flight gets canceled, that's something that you wouldn't, or gets delayed. You know, that's not something that you would normally think about for a hotel. That's a stress point, but that is something that you can capitalize on.
Right.
So finding those stress points along the buying cycle, what makes a user tick, what will get them deeper into your cycle, and doing business with your brand.
Right. Because at that point, that those passengers that are stranded in the airport, they're looking on their mobile device, and they're looking for something fast, and they're like, hey, where can I stay in this area? So boom, that was a perfect strategy for Red Roof Inn to realize that those people have immediate need, and they're looking on their mobile device and serving them the information that they need at that given time, which I think is really the key to micro moments.
Yeah, and that's where we go back to speed. We're on a Wi-Fi network at an airport. It's not going to be going very fast for you. If somebody's sitting there, even if they're sitting out and they're not, you know, they already have been in 4 hours and they're only searching on Google, and they know they have another 8 to 10 hours sitting there, there's still going to be that impulsive, well, I'm not waiting for this page to load because it's taking too long kind of thing. So.
Right. Yeah, and the document, again, Google put out, some of the points that they mentioned that were important for micro moments was be there, be useful, and be quick.
Yeah.
So I think that pretty much hits it on the head as far as micro moments go.
We already discussed the be there. You have to anticipate these stress points.
Right.
And when you do anticipate these stress points, being there, being useful, is being able to solve that issue for them.
Right.
What is it you can do for them that will solve the issue that they're having at hand? What does your business do for them? And then be quick is obviously making sure that page loads, because you can be there, you can have useful information, but if it doesn't load quickly, they're not going to care.
Right, right. And it's, I hate to use a cliche, but micro moments really allows you to kind of think outside the box and to do some creative and clever things to reach people in different ways. And one way that's pretty common, this isn't as much thinking outside the box, but how-to videos are, everyone is using their phone to pull up a video. Oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I best paint my wall, or with what's the right kind of paint to use, and for they're going and then they're pulling up a how-to video, and Home Depot says, oh, hey, here's a video on how to paint your house and the right brushes to use and how to apply the coats or whatever. So Home Depot actually, by having a lot of those how-to videos, is capturing a lot of people online that are looking for those home improvement tasks and things like that. So that's just one example. But how-to videos are definitely a great way. A lot of people are, when they're doing that home improvement, they're not usually doing it on their computer. They're usually got their mobile phone out there while they're painting their wall. And okay, yeah, that's how you do it. So that would be a perfect micro moment, as well as to have more content out there that's useful. How-to videos is definitely a good example of that.
It's a good example. Blog postings. Even if you have a product and you have a description under there and it hits on some of the stress points that someone would who would search for it, those could be helpful as well. Just solving that question that they have will definitely get you a higher, people will think higher of you because of that. It'll start building trust with that person.
Right. And again, there's also the context aspect of it, and to utilize, again, you mentioned the shoe store, or like I did, if we were talking about that, taking that into consideration. Again, we're the shoe retailer, we're selling shoes. What are some things that you can use to capture those potential customers? Is there a context that you can address? Like maybe somebody's wondering what's the best time of day to run. Or maybe it's you're serving information to them. You've got a retail store, you also have an online store, but maybe you also want to have information that's accessible to them based on their location, based on the time of day. You've got store hours from 9 to 5. Maybe you want to have information that differs between those different time frames based on your availability. There's all kinds of ways of approaching these micro moments. Is there anything you can kind of explain a little further on that?
Well, it depends on intent. So if somebody goes on to for a Google search and they say that I want to find a retail store near me, or a clothing store, make it more realistic. Clothing stores near me. It's going to pull up a bunch of clothing stores. Is going to be a lot of the large department stores, and then you're also talking about some of the smaller businesses that will be around. So in that case, if we're doing, since we talked about time of day, if we're running ads to capture some of those users, we want to make sure that that's during the day when our store is open.
Right.
Obviously, those they don't want to show up to a store that's closed.
Right.
For some of the more informational pieces, for if you have a retail store online and people aren't looking to come to your physical location, then those types of ads can run all day. They're just coming to your store online, and it doesn't matter if it's store hours at that point, because it's always open. So you're looking for what the intent is of the user. So are they looking to come to my store? Are they looking to buy online? Are they looking for information, or are they looking to so if they're looking to do one of those. So.
Right. And another good quote from that Google document, it says, connecting people to what they're looking for in real time and providing relevant information when they need it. So I think that pretty much kind of summarizes what we're
and one of the good examples that the Google hits on, they unleashed this big concept back in last year in 2017, that these micro moments are really what we're going to start pushing for in an advertising standpoint, is that when a user is driving around, or they are walking around downtown, let's say, they're searching on their phones for something either to do, or that they want to go to a restaurant and eat. They're looking for, just in general, somewhere to go shopping. So these are very important moments because these people are within a 10-mile radius of your business. It is a perfect point to capture them and bring them to your store or your restaurant or whatever business that you are running, and it's more likely to lead to them coming to your store and making a purchase, or even just building up your brand awareness that, oh my gosh, I didn't know this store was there, kind of thing. So you're looking to capture them online and offline at the same time. So
Okay. And anything else you want to add? Actually, there's one thing this is a good one right here. They said 90% of smartphone users say they've used their phone to make progress towards a long-term goal or multi-step process while out and about. And again, I think that continues to make the point of why these micro moments are so important, because they do, as it says here, helps the customer to chip away at the long purchase journey whenever they're motivated to do so. So I think, again, that just kind of summarizes what we're getting at here, that everyone's using their phone. Well, 90%, that's practically everyone's using their phone to do these micro moments in their research process to find out what they want to buy, where they want to go, what they want to do. They're basically looking to their phone to really tell them, or to direct their lives to a certain degree nowadays. So you want to make sure that you're there. Just having your website up and saying, hey, come visit us, or it's just not enough anymore. Reaching out and finding where they're at and where these touch points are that you can grab them at are really the way to go.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things that you have to think about is that you're looking for customers even when they're not looking for you.
Right.
You're looking to capture them before they even know that they need whatever product that you're selling. So that's a very important concept to believe. To think. So, and with this 90% of smartphone users, you're talking about somebody that maybe they have a long commute to work on a bus, or they're just at home, just hanging out, and they think of something that they want to do, but they know that it's not a realistic goal at this point. It's a long-term goal, and they want to get to it at some point. That's going to be a lot of information searches that they want to know exactly how to do this. They want to know exactly where to go. They want to know exactly what they need. So these are all touch points that continuously could bring them back. And if you have a good enough informational blog or how-to videos, you can get all of that information to them in one session. If they're really motivated to sit down and listen to everything that you've put on your page, excuse me, you can get all of this information to them and solidify yourself as the brand that they should trust.
Right. And again, the stats are showing that Google, again, this is from Google, is showing that people they're just not as brand loyal anymore. Instead, they're looking for the information that's what they're looking for at that given time. So if you're feeding them that, and that's what they're looking for, then you have more of a chance of getting that customer than them being loyal to your particular brand. So again, that's why these micro moments are so important. So anything else that you want to add? We could probably talk about micro moments for hours, and we're already at about 23 minutes here into the video, so I don't want to make it too long for people. We could always do a part 2, but I think that pretty much gives people a good overview of micro moments. And again, if you want to check out what document that a lot of this information is coming from, a lot of the stats that we're talking about, it's a Google document. It's called Micro Moments, Your Guide to Winning the Shift to Mobile. And of course, also the rest of that information is coming out of Justin's head. He's a very knowledgeable SEO expert here at NetSource. And we've got a full team of over 20 people here that are all here in-house. So we've got a lot of depth of talent here to be able to help with anything that you need online. So feel free to give us a call if that's something we can help you out with. Our number is 1-800-709-3240. Again, I'm Brent Haysecker. This is Justin Cook. We thank you for watching today. Bye.